so I've been trying a lot of Warframes this week on the Eidolon hunt, hoping that I can bring some non-meta frames for the mission. And one of these frames that I find really interesting is Ivara. This was suggested by some of my subscribers here, and I was really curious on whether or not this Warframe can be effective on the hunt. I know you're eager to know the answer too, so let's find out if we can take this stealthy Warframe for Eidolon capturing. Now I've tried a couple of build variation for Ivara, but I find having max efficiency and max power strength pretty interesting for the Eidolon hunt. Yes, I'm talking about maxing the firepower of your Artemis bow here. As you can see, it took me a few shots to take down one limb of the Eidolon teralyst, which is pretty amazing. Before I show you some tips and the rest of the footage during this Eidolon capture mission, let's first talk about how I build my Ivara for Eidolon hunting. The build is pretty simple. You just mod your Ivara with lots of efficiency, power strength, and as well as duration. We need that efficiency not only to get that enough energy to fire our Artemis bow, but also the ability to maintain our prowl. Prowl is also a good ability for Eidolon hunting, as it takes away aggro from Vomvalists and as well as the Eidolon's attack. Well, you can't avoid every attack in this mission, but at least you dodge some using this ability. And yes, duration also affects the energy drain, so we put a lot of duration on this build. And lastly, power strength, so that our Artemis bow will deal a lot of damage. Also, if you have Arcane Nullifier, and as well as Arcane Guardian, then I advise you to equip these to help out your Ivara in terms of survivability. I tell you now, Ivara is really squishy, and even a paper in this mission. More like a glass cannon. She deals good damage, but can't take damage. So, you need to really equip lots of survivability on this mission. Another good source of survivability in the Eidolon fight is the Magus Elevate, which you can equip on your operator. When you have this, you have the chance to restore your Warframe's health by 200 at max rank. Aside from modding Ivara right for this mission, you also need to properly mod your weapon to damage the Eidolons. I suggest that you bring a bow in this mission and try to mod it with the following mod. What we are aiming here is to provide Ivara's Artemis bow with lots of raw damage, multi-shot, critical, and radiation damage, and these mods are sufficient enough for this task. Aside from the loadout I've shown you, you must have the knowledge on how to properly use Ivara during the Eidolon hunt, and as well as a proper team composition. Basically, you will always be in operator mode to avoid those huge damage coming from the Eidolons. The only time you'll transfer back to your Warframe is the time when the Eidolon shields are down. Also, do remember that each attack of the Eidolons will hurt Ivara, and you must try to avoid all of them. In addition, proper positioning is the key to getting the most damage of your Artemis bow. Once your bow is shot in a distance, it will tend to spread. So it's really advisable to shot it in an elevated area, and close to the Eidolons. Now let's talk about team composition. For Ivara to be effective, she needs support from other Warframes. One of the commonly used frame is Trinity. Now this Warframe will help your Ivara in terms of survivability in this mission. Always ask your Trinity to spam her bless ability, especially when it's time to take out the limbs and the Eidolons itself. In this way, you will be able to focus on hitting the limbs or the Eidolon, without worrying about your health. Another Warframe that I find really helpful for Ivara during this mission is Oberon or Harrow. Oberon will be really helpful for Ivara in terms of survivability, as he will be able to give decent heals for Ivara with his renewal ability. And if your Oberon has Phoenix Renewal equip, then it will be a big boost for Ivara's survivability also. Not to mention that this Warframe can also mitigate the magnetic procs from the Eidolons with his Hollowed Ground. Also, Harrow is an effective teammate for Ivara, as he can give you invulnerability and huge critical boost, which will help you a lot in taking down the Eidolons. Another good teammate for Ivara is Chroma. In the hydrolyst fight, the damage of Artemis bow decrease by a bit, and it's really good to have Chroma on your team to boost your damage. Not to mention that he can also give you that sweet armor buff from his Vex armor. So basically, Chroma is one of your best buddy in Eidolon hunting. Now I haven't tried this Warframe, but Limbo seems to be a good teammate too for Ivara. Limbo can provide a lot of damage mitigation with his Cataclysm and Stasis abilities, and some of my friends told me that you can even shoot Artemis bow inside the rift, which is pretty interesting and cool if this actually works. I'm sorry if I can't show you a footage with a Limbo or some other Warframes that I've mentioned here because I'm pretty short-handed right now. There are a few players that will join me in the hunt, while I'll do silly stuff and choose non-meta frames. But I'm still lucky to have some friends that stick with my madness. Well, I can't blame other players as they want to farm the Eidolons efficiently, but for those who want to try new team compositions with me, then you can message me anytime. I will provide my in-game name on the video description below. In fact, I really want to try Limbo and Ivara combo, as that's really interesting. So, if you want to join my madness and somehow be featured in this mad channel, then just say hi in game. So that's it. Ivara is really an interesting Warframe for Eidolon hunting, and if you're one of those guys who want to try out something new in the hunt, then I suggest that you try out Ivara. Before you leave, I do hope you enjoy this video and find it informative. If you do, then don't forget to leave a like and smash that subscribe button if you want to see more Warframe videos from me in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on my next video.